Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we're going to look at the second hero that came in the Mad Titan Shadow box, Spectrum.
Spectrum.
Yeah, so Mad Titan Shadows was part three of the Infinity Stone trilogy. Part one was Rise the Red Skull, which was Avenger focus. Then we had Galaxy's Most Wanted, which was Guardian focus. And then we had Mad Titan Shadow, which was the Guardians and the Avengers working together. And so the two heroes was Adam Warlock, which was a Guardian, which we have a video up on the channel reviewing that hero. And the Avenger hero was Spectrum. So let's take a look at Spectrum, and she's got something very unique.
Catchphrase. All right, so her alter ego is Monica Rambeau. She is a civilian. She has 3 recovery. And as a setup, you put all 3 of her energy for upgrades into play face down. And we'll go over those in a second. But she has a forced response called Power Down. So after you change it to this form, you turn all of your energy form upgrades face down.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the hero form, she's a 1/1/1, but you'll see that it's not quite so bad. Aerial Avenger, so she is got aerial built in, which is great. So all those aerial decks that we had for like Angel would apply to her as well.
We didn't pull out a lot of aerial cards specifically because we covered those so thoroughly in Angels. So.
Yeah, check out our Angel for aerials. But she's got energy transformation, force response. After you change to this form, choose a face-down energy form upgrade. Flip that card face up to change to that energy form. Now, she is very similar to like Ant-Man and Wasp and Angel, except for she doesn't have the triple changer card. But when she changes forms, she'll have a specific energy form that comes into play.
So this card will stay up and in play, but then the energy forms are in addition to it.
Right. So I'll just slide her over to the side just a little bit. Okay, so first energy form we have here is
Gamma. So we've got Gamma, that is, and they're all 3 permanents, but the Gamma energy form gives Spectrum +2 attack, and as a hero response, after you change to this energy form, deal 1 damage to an enemy. And you notice that these, even though they're permanents, they do have a printed resource, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Right, and she gets a +2 attack, so she would be a 1/3/1 in this case.
Yep.
Now, she's got 2 more energy forms, and we're going to go over those, but she can't just willingly switch forms.
Yeah, she does need some card or something to allow her
to trigger it. Yeah, so it's kind of like Ant-Man in that way, in a way where he wants to go from giant to tiny. All right, then we got Photon here. This is her thwarting one. Energy form permanent. Spectrum gets +2 thwart, and after you change to this energy form, remove 1 threat from a scheme. And well, there's the little hologram here, but it actually provides mental, which again, like Dirk mentioned with the other one, that will be relevant. So we'll just set that right there.
And then the last one we've got here is the protection version of it. Is so this one she gets +2 defense, and after she changes to this form, you heal 1 damage from her. And then this one has a printed energy resource on it.
Right. So she is a 1/1/3, a 3 on one of her stats.
Yes. Depending on which form is up, is what stat has the additional +2.
And so the key to her is changing forms and stuff, and that's sort of the theme of this video.
Yes.
So her ally is one of the ways she can change. So Blue Marvel, 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Aerial Avenger, heal response. After Blue Marvel enters play, change energy forms. So this is a great way for her to, get a chance to switch forms. When he goes away, like rapid response would be a great way to, be able to change forms and stuff. Like you could change forms during the villain phase.
And the cool thing though is it's a response. It's not forced though, so you don't have to, but you're probably going to want to just to get the abilities.
Okay.
All right, then we've got energy duplication. We've got 2 copies of this. It's a 2 cost upgrade. It is a superpower, but as a hero resource, you can exhaust this, and this generates the printed resource on your face-up energy form. So remember, each of these had an energy resource, so it would generate whichever resource is the face-up form.
Okay. Then she's got events that are relevant to each form. So she's got 3 copies of Gamma Blast. It's a 3-cost event. Attack, superpower, hero action, attack. Change to Gamma energy form. Deal 7 damage to an enemy. If you were already in Gamma energy form, this attack gains overkill. So it allows you to become Gamma if you were in another form, which is great because, like I said, you want to be able to
And that's
switch
the
forms. But if you had already been in Gamma, then you get an extra benefit, in this case, overkill. So that's pretty nice.
Yep. Okay. Right, and then you've got 3 copies here of the Photon Speed. So this is the Thwart superpower. It's a 2-cost event, and you can change to Photon Energy form, which is the thwarting one. Or no, Photon is... Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, Photon is the thwarting one, not the one I grabbed first. But this is, you can change to Photon Energy form and remove 4 threat from a scheme. And if you're already in Photon, then you can ignore the Crisis icon for this thwart.
Okay. And then we've got 3 copies of her defense one, which is the Pulsar Shield. 1-cost defense superpower. When Spectrum defends, change to Pulsar energy form, which then gives you a 3 defense. And Ready Spectrum. If you were already in Pulse energy form, then she gains Retaliate 1 until the end of the phase. So again, you get an extra benefit if you're already in that form, but it's a great way to emergency switch to the forms that you need.
Yep, and you had 3 copies of that.
Yep.
You've got 3 copies of Speed of Light, which is a 0-cost event. It's a superpower. And as a hero action, you can change energy forms and draw a card. So not only do you get to change forms, but you get an additional card draw as well.
Yeah. So pretty much every card in her kit, with the exception of Blue Marble, was a superpower.
Yes, and they dealt with her energy forms. All
Yep.
of them did.
All right. Then her obligation is Loss of Control. Give to the Monica Rambeau player. You cannot change energy forms. Alter ego action. Exhaust Monica Rambeau. Remove Loss of Control from the game. So it does go away, but you have to go to alter ego. This does not flip you automatically to alter
You're
ego.
stuck in whatever form you were in when this comes out until you go to alter ego.
Yeah, until you go to alter ego and get rid of it.
Right, her nemesis is Radioactive Man. He is a elite genius. He's got 6 hit points. He schemes for 1. He attacks for 1. But as a force response, after he activates against you, you deal 1 damage to each character you control. So that's allies and your identity as well. And then as a boost, you deal 1 damage to each character you control if it comes out as a boost.
Okay.
So yeah, he doesn't like your characters.
All right. Then the side scheme is Reactor Meltdown. Deal 1 damage to a friendly character in play.
Each friendly character, yeah.
To each friendly character in play. 2 threat per player, and there's some symbol that Dirk...
Crisis icon.
Wow, he remembered.
All right, next you've got the Radioactive Blast. So it's a treachery card. You've got just the 1 copy of this, it looks like. But whenever it's revealed, if you're in alter ego, you place 2 threat on the main scheme. And if you're in hero form, you take 2 damage.
Okay. Then we have 2 copies of this attachment. It's called Sap Power. Attach your identity. After your turn ends, take 1 damage. And as an alter ego action, you have to spend 2 energy resources to discard.
Yeah, and it does not say limit to 1 per player, so you can possibly get both of those, which would be horrible.
Okay, so she is an Avenger, and we've had Avengers since the beginning of the game, and there are lots of allies and Avenger. Play only if you're Avenger card.
There's a lot of Avenger symmetry. So.
Yeah, so we didn't pull those because, this would be a very long video. Sometimes we have long videos on these hero reviews, and then sometimes we try to make them shorter. So yeah, so she could play the Quinn carrier, any allies that say play only if you're an Avenger. Team building would work for the Avenger,
And the Ariel.
Yeah, which we talked about before, but then you got that for the whole Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So any of the basic Avengers strategies that you can do for pretty much any of the Avengers, she could do as well.
Yes.
All right. But we do have a couple of unique cards that we thought were good for her. And this mainly, some of it revolves around her changing forms, because she's got 4 different forms, basically, the count alter ego as well.
Yes.
So first card we have.
So the first one we've got here is Surprise Attack. It's a 1-cost event. It's an aggression event. On attack, after you change forms, you can deal 3 damage to an enemy. 4 instead if you paid for this card using a strength resource.
Right. All right. Then we have a player side scheme here. Keep up the pressure. Victory 0. Each player may search their deck and discard pile for an attack event and add it to their hand. So that's where you can get the Gamma Blast. Until the end of the phase, each attack event deals 1 additional damage, and it's 2 threat per player.
We've got Lay Down the Law, which is a 1-cost fort event. For Justice, after you change hero form, you can remove 3 threat from a scheme, 4 threat instead if you paid for it using a mental resource.
Okay. And then her big thing is playing her events as often as possible. So this is a nice card that can help with that. Generation X, Victory 0. Each X-Men character gets +1 thwart while making a basic thwart against a scheme. So
yeah, you probably don't really care about that piece of it.
If you got an X-Men ally, maybe, but that's
or another player.
Yeah, that's not the important part. The important part is each player may search their deck and discard pile for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. And, she's got great attacks, great thwarts, great defense events, plus the card that lets her change forms.
Yes.
But, it's like, oh, we need some more thwart. You can grab that, which will switch you to that form. And it's 3 threat per player.
3 threat per player.
Yeah, yep. Dirk, stole the card.
Great card. I had it. Needed to have it. All right, then we've got Moxie here. So it's a 0-cost leadership event. As a hero response, after you change to hero or after you change form, your hero gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense until the end of the round. So this one is great because, you could play this, and technically if you had a couple of these in your hand and you were able to change forms a couple of times, you could actually get quite a few, added bonuses at the end of the turn with this one.
All right. Then we have Call for Backup. Victory 0. Each player may search their deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play. 3 threat per player. This is really great for getting Blue Marvel back, because Blue Marvel is another way for you to change forms.
Yes.
So, and you can play them for free, which is nice.
And 3 per player. I think you said that, but just in case.
I did.
All right, then we've got Perseverance here. It's a 1-cost protection event. It's a tactic, and as a hero response, after you change form, you give your hero a tough status card. So those tough status cards are always nice to have, and you get that anytime you change form, which you do a lot.
All right. And like we said, almost every single one of her cards is a superpower. So Depth Focus.
11 of them have a cost.
Yeah. Max 1 per player. Exhaust Depth Focus. Reduce the resource cost of the next superpower. Then play by 1. Another really good card.
Okay, we've got Ready to Rumble. It is a 1-cost upgrade here. It's condition. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. But after you change forms, you can discard this to ready your hero. And so you can, it's not a forced response. You can play it out there and save it to where whenever you actually need it.
And then we got a resource here, Everyday Hero. While your identity has a civilian trait, which you do when you're an alter ego, this card can be spent for any player and gains the text. After you spend this card for a player, heal 1 damage from that player's identity. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, and then like I said, there's all sorts of Avenger cards that you could play for, but we think her unique thing really is you want to be able to play her events that all trigger with her jumping from one form to the other.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different ways you could do that by playing a lot of supports and upgrades so that they are out to thin out your deck. Just any way that you can do to play things to thin out your deck. You can play Assess the Situation to draw extra cards. There's a bunch of different ways. And then Dave's got out here, this is a card now. I can't remember if this is an official one or if this is a player one.
It was a German promo.
So yeah, this was a German promo that came out for her. Really nice artwork. I love it. It's got the unique artwork on it on both sides. But you either have to know the card, have a copy of the card available so that you can read it, or read German. But really nice looking card there.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that was our look at Spectrum. So I really like her. She Spectrum. She's pretty fun. And multiple forms. We kind of got a little taste of that again, like when Storm came out, with her weather deck. It really reminded me of Spectrum, although you weren't changing forms, but you were changing the weather and stuff.
Right.
It kind of had the similar feel.
Yeah, it did have a very similar feel.
Yeah, and this does have a similar feel to Ant-Man, although you didn't have the triple changer, but she could only change forms like that. I mean, Ant-Man could switch because they were actual forms. She's not allowed to switch forms unless you get one of her cards. So I like to really build thin decks, and cards that stay out, so you can get to her cards faster.
Yeah, I mean, one of the one concept is whichever aspect you're playing, choose all of the side schemes and the basic side schemes to where you get like 6 cards potentially out of your deck.
Yeah, yeah. When,
So
when we played her, the side schemes hadn't come out yet, so
yes,
that's an interesting. But I had things like Quinn carriers and
yeah, a
helicarriers,
lot of stuff that stays out on the table.
downtime, endurance, those kind of cards to just get them out. Um, but then whatever aspect you're playing, you're going to want a few events, of course, too.
Yeah.
And that we could do the. I don't think. I don't think I did a home technique with her since, because that came out afterwards. But dive bomb.
I have not played her since Home
Yeah,
Technique came out.
dive bomb home technique deck, would work great for her as
Oh yeah.
well. Um, yeah, and then like I said, any of your angel aerial deck ideas would work for her as well. So yeah, so I think she was the first hero that had aerial printed on her card. I'm pretty sure. I think she was, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I mean, because I know we had aerial characters like Thor and Iron Man could become aerial, but uh, Thor started aerial because he got Mjolnir, but if he lost Mjolnir, he lost aerial. Okay. Well, anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see new content by us, go ahead and hit that notification bell down there, and you will get alerts whenever we put up new video.